they never cared, right? It was essentially Parang saying, "Oh, okay, they picked the hyper tank Ornn. I'll pick the Gangplank into it. I'll scale up, and I win this matchup." Right?
Sure.
Red was never playing that game. It was always Aegis is cheesing up top side. We're going to get early kills up there, and then we're going to get Ornn out of the top lane. And they were never playing the top lane game. And now neither is Parang. He's playing Rumble. He doesn't care if he's into a hyper tank. If he gets 2v1 ganked here at 3 minutes, Rumble's just going to walk out. If he, in these team fights, is what he's playing for now, and I like it. I like this a lot better. I think the Parang Gangplank didn't have much of an effect on the game so far in the last 2 games. Did a lot of damage game one, but I think that game was already won for them, so I'm not sure if I would call that having a big effect. I think this Rumble should have a lot more effect on these team fights.
I heard that it's not just a theory, it's a lane theory, Axeman. So love that you
Yeah.
bring that one up. We are on the Rift for game number 3. One of these teams looking to take the lead. Red Canids absolutely crushed game 2. Some early fight wins for Kabum did not translate into any sort of mid-game lead as Red Canids absolutely ran that one over. But Kabum making some adjustments. They have Dasave back on the Jinx that was so successful in game number 1. And of course, Teton popped off on it, even getting a pentakill to close out game number 2 on the Jinx. So what can Dasave do this time around? And of course, Parang on the Rumble is going to be very fun to watch. Both junglers will start on the top side of the map. How do you feel about that, Axeman?
I think Wiz is playing catch up here. I think Aegis has set the tone for this meta, this series meta here, and Wiz is trying to catch up. Fortunately, they're on the same page now. The meta is start top side, clear 3 camps, and gank top. We'll see if Wiz has a little bit more success. He was successful in trading back that kill in last game, and he has set himself up for similar successes to go around. What I will say is Aegis is clearing Gromp into Wolves, which says he's going for the full clear to me.
He is going to do that. Meanwhile, Wiz red to Raptors down to his blue. Gonna skip past that and go to Gromp here first, and we'll have to see if Wiz has any desire to make his presence felt maybe in the bottom lane. He should be able to secure bot side Scuttle Crab when that one comes up. The full clear done from Aegis will go now down to his red buff. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Skrull with a well-placed death sentence there into the traps from Dasave will get a lot of damage there on a Teton who has to back
Yeah.
away. Ignite ticking on the Aphelios. Damage traded both ways, but Kabum come out on top in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Wiz down here, maybe looking to flash over the wall into Tribrush and get in behind Teton. Aegis is here, is going to get spotted out. And actually, a lack of priority in both bottom and mid lane there for Kabum means Wiz has to back away, drops the pillar, and leaves the area. That means bot lane Scuttle Crab goes to Aegis, and the Red Canids regain control on the bot side.
Yeah, he just gets to back up onto his camps here, too. That's going to set him at a CS lead for at least the next several clears here, as Wiz will have to reset onto his Krugs and take them level 1. Yeah, everything else a little calm. Looks like trading up top side, but not cutting to that just yet. Ornn, not really a way to trade back with Parang. It should just be the Electro Harpoons. Yeah, there you go. I can call that one. The Electro Harpoons going out onto the Ornn, which is how this matchup goes in a vacuum. Wasn't expecting this matchup to happen in a vacuum, right? We were expecting the junglers to be up here by now, but it looks like they've kind of canceled each other out a little bit. So in a vacuum, since we haven't talked about it, it's, Harpoons in onto Guigo, poking him down time over time, and then the all-in, once again, still going to Parang, as that W is able to turn the tide in his favor. So not a great matchup for the Ornn. Mother of God.
Guigo just burning down there to Parang.
He's made of
And,
wood.
we went to break, ladies and gentlemen, and the first thing Axeman asks is, okay, so do you think Parang gets first blooded again in game 3? And my response was, I don't know. I feel like it depends on the pick, and it would seem like it may not happen here. Parang with a lot of control, and also interesting, a little bit more respect to Aegis here. We did not see a lot of early wards from Parang to
Oh
get
man.
vision on those ganks, but it's
Oh,
going to take
he's
quite a few tower shots. It has to flash
ooh.
away, but there's the answer to your question. First blood goes to Wiz as Guigo will fall, and Kabum take the lead.
Yeah, that's great play there from Wiz, and spectacular from Parang, to be honest. Doing so much damage to this Ornn, burning him down with the harpoons, then the flamethrower, escaping with W. Wiz taking some of those turret shots as well. This is a really great topside duo, and Aegis and Guigo are trying their best to keep up. They're doing really well, but yeah, there's just something about Wiz, right? I'd call him the best jungler in the league. He is doing phenomenally thus far. Aegis dealing, doing some damage back here. He's got quite the CS advantage. He's had that since the first clear, but now he's got the objective here as well. And that CS lead is not going away anytime soon. He's clearing really effectively so far.
Looking really good for Aegis. J4 was a big part of the victory for Red Canids in game 2. Also have to note, we were asking before we went to break whether or not Aegis had gone the Zhonya's in the last game. We did go back and confirm that Aegis did in fact pick up the Zhonya's, playing that APJ4, and I would imagine a similar build this time around, that we will certainly keep an eye on it. It was Turbo Chem Tank into Zhonya's in game 2, and is at the very least on his way towards that Chem Tank here in game number 3. Now, as we take stock, of course, we saw Aegis and Red Canids pick up that first Drake, Infernal, this time around. And sadly, I hate to break the bad news to you, my friend, but no Hex Tech Rift this game, as Hex Drake will be the second Drake this time around. I'm sorry, Axeman.
No, it's all right. My friend is all right, but yeah, I'm still not feeling great about it. I would have liked a full 5 set of Hextech maps. I think that would have been the best thing. But
you got 2 Hex Souls though in 2 games, which is that's pretty good.
Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And there are still games left to be played for sure, no matter which side wins this one. So we'll have to see going forward. But yeah, we'll see there. But what is the deal with APJ4? You ask, Ye. So here's the thing, right? Couple things changed for J4 over the last several patches. First is the introduction of First Strike. That's been around for a while, since the start of the season, I believe. It's called First Strike, right? I didn't call that. Yeah, First Strike. So you get a bunch of damage there if you hit the enemy before they hit you. You also get a bunch of bonus gold on top of that. Well, in the first thing to hit anything in the combo for J4 is his E, right? It's the flag. You go flag, drag into Cataclysm, excuse me. That flag has a big old AP scaling, right? So you stack a bunch of AP onto it. Not a bunch, but some. And it deals a bunch of damage, gets your first strike off really easily, and from there you follow up with a bunch of damage, gives you a bunch of free gold, and you're able to scale up super effectively. On top of that, you build Zhonya's, gives you a bunch of armor, and it also allows you to use the Zhonya's active as well, which is very effective for J4. We saw that a couple times. He stole Baron with it. So yeah, that's how the build works, and that's why it's so effective.
Well, and it's funny because it's something that we've seen in the support role. Not, I don't believe, in competitive play, but we've certainly seen it in solo queue a bit here and there over the last 12 to 18 months. It is cropped up from time to time, and I know it was, I think, fairly popular in Korean solo queue about a year ago. So it felt like it was only a matter of time before something like that came to pro play, and now, of course, it is very much here in Brazil, and Aegis will be bringing it out in his second game in a row. Down to the bottom lane, though, we saw Desave pushed away by that Moonlight Vigil, but was able to survive, and now here near the Rift, here, a lot of damage there on a Parang, and Aegis is going to take the kill. Super Mega Death Rocket will take Grefthard down very low, and Kabum has to back away, but a beautiful death sentence there onto Jojo, but Wiz has to flash out of trouble here. Red Canids turning back onto the Baron, and Teton very excited as he takes down Desave in the 1v1. The Red Canids 80 carry popping off once again.
Oh yeah, and that's got to feel good, right? The enemy 80 carry builds a call into you, immediately you're like, oh, if I don't solo kill this guy, I'm never going to live it down, right? So you're going to try over and over again, even multiple turret dives there trying to get it down, and finally he does get it. Here's that replay for you. Desave says, I'm going to build a cull, and I'm going to get 100 CS. He's not even looking right now. He fires the rocket across the map. And Teton, yeah, just gets him with the Calibrum. That range is what does it for you. He's got
And
it up
important to
again
note,
here.
this is an Aphelios with no ult either.
Yeah. Yeah, the ult is down.
Oh,
Jeez, man.
that is disgusting.
That's raw stats. That's raw stats. That's a risk you take when you build a call, right? And yeah, he comes back in a lane with a full mythic. Bad to worse for Desave. That's not good whatsoever. He's got the Gale Force too, so that much harder to escape this guy.
Yeah, Teton definitely feeling very confident here. 15 CS lead, has that first item in his pocket, and Teton is going to be looking to force that advantage here in the bottom lane. And this is something, we didn't see a ton of in the first game. While, Whoa. Teton did get a considerable lead, it really wasn't in the straight up 1v1 or 2v2 of this lane. So very nice for Teton to get that going, as second Drake picked up here by the side of Kabum.
Wow.
And that's the ult right
no.
on top of Red Canids. But down goes Skuro, and here comes Aegis. Wiz gonna get the ultimate, make that J4 a lot less tanky, and maybe Desabe looking to chase, but Kabum just have to back away. It's a 1-for-2 in favor of Red Canids.
Yeah, nice one there. Kabum with the dragon, though. And cross map getting some plates down. But yeah, nice little fight coming out for him. And those CS numbers starting to stack up in earnest for Red, but the kills too now. Oh boy, big ultimate from the Vex.
Oh, goodbye, Desave. Red Canids just lying in wait in the bottom lane. And Aegis will take the kill. Okay. I guess he's like, hey, guys, I need my Zonyas.
My bad, guys. I forgot the flag was the hardest hitting part of my kit with this build. He drops the flag on him and finishes off the Save. Yeah, that feels a little bad. Considering your Grefthar, you used your ultimate to get that kill. But yeah, and yeah, we'll try not to rag on him too much for that. But yeah, Desave does pick up a second death there, and only 10 CS since the last time we talked about this call build. Little bit of trolling. We do a little bit of trolling, but that's fine.
We have fun around here,
We do have fun around here. We do have fun.
Guigo gonna go up and clean up this wave at his tower, and Parang going in aggressively in that last fight, dropping the ultimate, but gets taken out, almost immediately. Was only barely able to get a single rotation of spells out before Red Canids were able to take him down, and now the rest of his team really struggling here, as that's Riftail dropped in the bottom lane. That's first tower going over to Red Canids, and maybe looking for more there. Call the Forge God from Guigo to try and clear out that wave, and he's going to do a good job of it. He is going to burn down, though, to the ultimate of Parang. Wiz tanks the tower shots, and the rumble on the board here. First kill there for Parang in game number 3, and they will knock down Guigo, but 2 towers picked up for the side of Red Canids in this bottom lane. Is going to feel really nice, especially with that bonus gold on bot lane tier 2. So Red Canids in a really good spot, up just about 4,000 gold.
For sure here. And yeah, Wiz being able to dive the Ornn like this, it's down to that ultimate, right? You hit the ultimate onto the Ornn. Ornn's already got the Mythic completed, so he's got plenty of stats to steal. And Trundle's able to tank, I think, for like 4 or 5 shots there, and still be above half health. So he's just really, really tanky, really effective at diving, but especially onto hyper tanks here, where you can steal all those stats with the ultimate. And not a super winnable situation for Guigo. You'll recall he was able to clear out the wave with the ultimate there, but there's just nothing he could do. Wiz so tanky, he doesn't need any minions to go for the dive. But they're up top side now. Got the couple men up here, a couple men advantage going. Hopefully they can get this topside turret.
Oh, beautiful play here onto Guigo. Skuro with the death sentence follows in with the flay, and they have taken down the Red Canids top laner once again. But Red have traded back at least that top lane tier 1, possibly looking for more Aegis and Jojo in the area. Desave here to try and clear out this wave, and Skuro and Wiz on their way towards topside for the support. Red Canids will back away, not looking to go too aggressive here. Meanwhile, Parang in the bottom lane, able to get that wave pushed pretty easily. It's not difficult for a Rumble to push waves, and he's going to clear that out. Meanwhile, Teton in the bottom lane, Moonlight Vigil is going to land, and Desave accepts his fate as Teton takes his second kill of the game.
Man. Yeah, reactivates the purple ultimate there and just knocks him out with the kill. And yeah, Teton, that's the second time now that he's able to get the kill down onto Desave. Good for him. He's almost completed with that second item. And he's really off to the races with this Aphelios. I think this might be answering our question that we started off the game with, Yeso. Is it the pick comp or is it Jinx? I think it might be the pick comp.
You might be right there. Skrull gonna go gold. That's the pillar down. There's the ultimate from Parang, and Aegis able to get out of it early. Renata ult onto 2, and that's gonna be Parang falling. Flash away from Wiz will keep him safe from the flag and drag, but then they need to respond to the push from Red in the mid lane. Skrull hunts for that death sentence over the wall, but it does not land. And now, with Drake up in 2 seconds, Kabum want to contest this, but Guigo with the Galaxy Brain flank. Important to note, no Call of the Forge God here, but he may not need it for the knockup. Looking for Skrull and Desave here. Is going to get flayed out of it, but Skrull will still fall. Aegis with the flag takes him down. And Red Canids turn back for their second. Drake pings onto the Herald from Kabum. So they want to get something here in return, but Red Canids seem to want to contest it. They know that Drake is free, so they are happy to send multiple members up to the top lane river to respond to Kabum. Wiz wants to go in here, but it's a numbers advantage in favor of Red Canids. Wiz getting burned down, flashing for Teton. He's going to take him out. It's the Gale Force active that finishes it off. Teton will burn. Parang maybe soon to follow. Oh, but he just survives, and now Grevthar has to run. It's a double kill for Parang, and now House and Desave hunting for Grevthar here. That's going to be the stun. That's going to be the finish. Desave with another kill when the Drake falls. 4 are dead on the side of Red Canids.
Yeah, they really pay for trying to fight that objective 4v5, and they pay dearly. They lose their mid lane turret here, too. They haven't lost the Rift Herald yet critically, so that might take a little bit of time here. Replay coming through for you. Flash forward from JoJo trying to catch him out. They catch Wiz with the fear. Teton flashing forward, Gale forcing additionally forward into Brang. I think might have killed him here. That's a mispositioning thing going back to game 1. It's an issue that Red has consistently had. They were able to avoid much of it there in game 2, but it looks like it's rearing its ugly head here again in game 3. You cannot afford to give too many of those away to Desave. Keep in mind, Jinx still one of the strongest AD carries in the game, and while they're quite a bit behind Teton right now, you know, no one's arguing that. This champion can still make a considerable comeback here. We're not even at 18 minutes yet here, Yeso.
I could not agree with Twitch chat more. What a nasty equalizer, not gonna lie. I could not say it better myself. Well played, Parang getting into that fight at the perfect time. Gets right in onto those priority targets, able to drop that equalizer right on top of their heads. And that is a huge turnaround here for Kabum. Seemed like everything was falling apart here in game 3 and that Red Canids were poised to take the lead in this series. But at the very least, Kabum has something to say about it, but there, oh my goodness, Parang put into the bounce house in the top lane. Teleport on its way, Cataclysm onto 2, Wiz in trouble, House flashes out, Renata ultimate not going to land onto anybody. Good poke there from Desave, and Guigo's in trouble. Super Mega Death Rocket will secure the kill. Good night, Guigo. House going to take it here.
Oh, man. Yeah. Renata W passive is... become more of like a tragic thing. I can't tell you how many times like you just don't proc it. You just don't end up getting the takedown, and you just kind of die a little bit later than you would have. So that's not too great there. Aegis almost completed with the Zanyas. Or actually no. Just has the stopwatch. Isn't looking like he's building Zanyas here. He's 304, so maybe going for more of like a carry style build. I think he's got like Force of Nature in the works for us here. We'll see what he does end up going for, but Desave trying to look for Grevthar. They don't have a wave anymore. But yeah, the story of that last fight, I think they went a little bit ham trying to get Parang down and kind of tripped up a little bit on the exit, but so they just trade top laners. I think was the outcome of that.
I just wish we could see a replay of Parang because he gets knocked up by the Gala Forge God, and then before he's hit the ground, he gets knocked up by the charge from the Ornn, and then before he hits the ground again, he gets knocked up by the Flagged Drag of Asia. So it was just like Parang just bouncing up and down in the top lane for about 5 seconds, and then falling. I mean, Parang just, I would imagine, probably took his hands off his mouse and keyboard and just said, "All right, please, like, can we just get this over with?"
Yeah, it's a good point too, right? Because critically, if something like that happens with Desave, when they're able to channel or not channel chain 3 knockups together, you can't cleanse that, right?
Nope.
So that's it's going to be pretty nuts onto the Jinx there. Guigo hitting level 12, should be close to level 13 soon. I think that's what the observer was looking for, was that level 13. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. We're getting there though. Then we'll be able to upgrade their own item. And level 14 should be upgrading the scale force, I would imagine. But critically, game 1 when they had the Ornn, they actually upgraded. Yeah, I think so as well here. But
Trap's gonna go down to try and buy some time, but it's not going to matter. Desave's gonna go down and nearly takes Grevthar with him.
yeah, you got to be careful, right? He's a dangerous guy. And, I think Grevthar does. I think he got the kill there. Yeah, because he's got the double buffs. And, nice kill. Very close, narrow margins, though. We will go ahead and say. But I think you're looking for the dragon up in 20 seconds. And there shouldn't be an opportunity for Kabum here to look for that one. But like I was saying, they upgraded Grevthar's item in game 1. By level 14 first. They actually didn't end up upgrading Teton's item until like level 16 or something like that, pretty late in the game. So we'll see if they change that up here.
Oh, this is cheeky. They know that Red Canids want to get to Soul Point, and Kabum, they're able to get the blast cone over the wall and just start the Baron, and Kabum has no vision inside of the pit. They think they're safe because they took the Scuttle Crab, but Kabum, with the 1,000,000 IQ playing, no vision from Red Canids, they have no idea, and Baron goes down. What a play from Kabum!
That's nuts. That's a fully a vision issue, just like you were saying. They wanted the dragon. They wanted the dragon super bad. They have all that vision set up around the bottom side of the map. There's nothing up top side, and they're not able to see anything around that Baron. Not just the pit, right? But like hardly anything. They had one like blue ward just like outside the pit sitting there, and that was it for that entire side of the map. And yeah, I'll call that a vision issue. It's all well and good to have a bunch of vision on one side of the map, but if you have Baron up, you can't just leave that thing up, especially now when they have Jinx, right? I mean, Jinx shreds that 100% of the time. With the Trundle
there, the funny thing is, though, I think they took it with just Parang and Wiz. Yeah. Like, granted, Rumble does a lot. Like, Rumble does a ton of damage to Baron and clears it pretty quickly, but I don't even think they used the Jinx. I think Desave was just out on the map.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, beautiful. The fear from Grevthar keeps House away from the Lantern long enough to secure the kill. It's going to be a shutdown there for Teton, and down goes House. Now, Skuro trying to get away from Aegis here. Desave in a really bad spot, but does get Lantern out of trouble for now. They will be able to escape. But meanwhile, bottom lane, Parang taking the tier 2. That's going to be some even more gold in the pockets of the top laner here for Kabum, who has come online. 2 items for this Rumble. And now Teton going to take down this top lane tower. Lots of T's in there as Wiz going to get lanterned away from the Aphelios. And now Kabum just, what can you do? How much can you get for this Baron? At the very least, it has bought them a lot of time. But can they close the gap here? It is a plus 1,000 gold Baron power play. That's really not a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Still down 2,000 gold and down in towers as well, but they have opened up that bot lane at the very least.
Yeah, they're actually like actively losing gold on that power play as we talk about. That number is going down as this last minute ticks down. So they steal away Baron. It's more of like a stopgap, right? Trying to prevent damage being done to them rather than dealing that damage. Parang taking this last turret though. Yeah, that's going to bring that gold back up a little bit. 1.2 should be the final after this 30 seconds. And yeah, so for me, of the team comps you could assume, because there are team comps you can fully assume can't take Baron at 21 minutes 30 seconds, right? Those team comps exist. They don't have Trundle and Jinx and Rumble on them, right? For me, like there's no way you assume this comp isn't going to go for a Baron at 22 minutes. That they can 100% do that. They can, even like you mentioned, without the Jinx. They can do it with the Trundle and the Rumble too, or they can do it with the Trundle and the Jinx, or the Rumble and the Jinx, or whatever they have, because they have that amount of sustained damage. And yeah, they get that one up for free, and it's just a little too late. 3 items now for Parang. Very strong on
Oh
Summoner's
man.
Rift. Does a ton of burst damage, ton of sustained damage. That burn coming through from Demonic Embrace. It's
So I don't know if you noticed, but Guigo fat fingered Flash just now. I hope this team is just missing pinging him because that was beautiful to watch. A lot of damage there on the Teton. House uses the ultimate here. Here comes
Oh,
the
here we
Super
go.
Mega Death Rocket. Will
Ooh.
not land, though, onto Teton. And just able to block that for his 80 carry. And Kabum will back away, look to pick up some gold as these waves are pushing onto their half of the map. But yeah, rest in peace, Guigo's Flash there. That's a feels bad.
It's not good. It's not good. That is for sure. It's not even a quarter of the way back off cooldown. So that's quite the loss. I think we always hate to call these because uh, it's somewhat rude, but for me, I feel like it's kind of a mental thing. You're 054, right? Maybe a little bit of tilt going on there. You have more deaths than the collective rest of your team combined, right? So yeah, it's got to be hurting at least a little bit. It would be hurting me. Guigo should be up here with the ultimate. No engage. All right, they're waiting
Yeah,
for this dragon to come up here.
Wiz just drops the pillar there and able to walk away from any sort of trouble. House is here. Important to note, ultimates available for everybody on the side of of Kabum except for House, though his will be up momentarily. All ultimates available for the side of Red Canids. So everybody has those tools available to them, and both 80 carries do have flash up, but Aegis there. Oh, there's the equalizer on top, but they've already taken out the the Trundle is Parang trying to run away from Teton. He is gonna go down. Now they're looking for more. Grefthar is gold, flashes away, just able to survive. The laser from House will not catch the Vex there, and Grefthar running for the hills, but House wants these targets, trying to chase them down. Red Canids will escape, but it costs them 2, and the Drake here. Kabum win a very key fight.
So no Dragon Soul there for Red. Maybe should have gone for the engage earlier there in the mid lane. They had the man advantage, but it's too little too late. Now they're waiting in the bush here looking for the engage. I think, honestly, Aegis goes off a little early here. Go ahead and watch. Yeah, he goes a little deep. This is a big ultimate from Guigo. Hits 2 members, nails Skuro into Save. Great look there. You think Aegis is able to follow up, but goes golden and does die to the rocket from Desave. On the back end, meanwhile, Parang is 1v1ing Teton there in the wings. Totally destroys him. Just so much damage coming out of this Rumble right now. It can't even be felled by the Aphelios. So not good there. And of course, Kabum eventually pulls that win out. Sprawling team fight gets a dragon, and no Dragon Soul for Red.
And also, I have to mention, and I will probably have to hold on to it here, since we'll miss there. Teton flashing over the wall into the blue side of Kabum. Now,
Yeah.
granted, he's standing on top of an equalizer, so it's not like there's a lot of great places to go. But I feel like flashing over the wall further away from your team with
Yeah.
a rumble already on you is not the answer. And Teton essentially a non-threat there as Grefthar is going to go down. The kill going to go to House. Wiz going to go gold here, and Red Canids have to back away. Beautiful ultimate there. House just chunking through the health bars, and Wiz wants the chase. The Save here too, throws down the traps. Wiz gonna take a lot of damage, but able to back away, and now they've caught out Guigo once again. The passive from the Renata will not do him any favors. Desave with his 3rd kill, and now Kabum with their eyes set possibly on a second Baron of this game. Lantern out from Skuro. He will forfeit his life, but they may be able to trade back here. Teton very low. Desave locked down in the Cataclysm, but he doesn't seem to care. He's going to go down. It's actually the double kill. Aphelios will survive a little longer, but Teton does eventually fall. But How's looking for more. The equalizer up once again, and Parang secures another kill.
Good stuff there. Yeah, I can't believe JoJo almost saved Teton there. I was really close, but finally somebody converts on the W passive from Renata. But nope, just too little, too late. They do get the kill down on the bot lane, and Guigo goes down. But Kabum, nothing really to do with it there. I don't think they wanted to go for the Baron take. I feel like they felt they didn't have time really, and Aegis being on J4. The steal is certainly available there, so not the safest play. They're going to back off, take out these jungle camps, and continue scaling up. But yeah, just still mondo damage from Parang on Rumble, and Desave dealing tons of damage now here too. But I feel like the Aphelios is almost starting to fall off a little bit. These tools, the space that Kabum is creating for their team comp is forcing the Aphelios out of these team fights.
You can see the graph there of the gold lead throughout this game. We are dead even in kills and essentially about dead even in gold. I mean, it's about 1,000 gold lead, but 30 minutes in, that's pretty minuscule for the side of Kabum. But while we may be essentially even in those metrics, it feels like this game has tilted so heavily in favor of Kabum. Parang has been so good in these fights as Guigo. Oh, man, you want to talk about a mental thing. Just completely whiffing on the call of the Forge God. Even Twitch chat are Mia pinging Guigo right now as Kabum slowly working their way through the health bar of this Baron. Red Canids still in the area. Equalizer going to be coming down here very soon, I have to imagine. Moonlight Vigil out, a lot of damage, and that's the steal! The smite is so good from Aegis, but can they win the fight? That's Grefler into the backline. Down goes the Desave, that's huge, but they're able to trade back onto the Vex. Now looking for more. Equalizer already down, and a shutdown as well onto Parang, and that's a huge fight for the side of Red Canids.
Yeah, this could very easily just be, oh, there we go, level 15. Item does go on to Teton. All right, Teton gets the first upgraded item there. Good stuff. And yeah, they should very well get this dragon off this play as well, as there is enough of them left alive with enough of the resources, and that will be Dragon Soul for them on top of the Baron here, yay. So that is the recipe for success we have seen over this series so far. Baron into Dragon Soul into victory. And it's just this time it's not the Jinx that's collecting that victory. See if they can get this here. There's no reason they shouldn't.
There is no reason, though. I sense a Super Mega Death Rocket has got to come down here. Desave not going to use it, so that is going to be Mountain Soul for the side of Red Canids. That's going to make them a little bit tankier in these fights. Already at a 1,600 gold Baron power play here so far, and still more work to be done as a minute and a half still left on that buff. Kabum, it looked like everything was going their way over the last about 10 minutes. And it all turned around thanks to one fight at the Baron. And now they have to fight into this mountain buffed Red Canids lineup, who are looking to break into the base here. All those outer towers down for the side of Kabum, and just those inhib towers stand between Red Canids and getting into the Kabum base here. But Kabum trying to get these waves pushed as best they can, but we go up in the top lane. The bot lane will join him as Teton has arrived, and they have their eyes set possibly on their first inhibitor. JoJo in the pocket here to protect as well. Parang should be able to clear this wave out fairly easily. Meanwhile, Age is putting in the bottom lane, but is going to be flanked here. House
Oh,
clearing out
no.
the backside of the wave. Wiz and Desave are here as well. Flag can drag out, but a beautiful pillar will lock down Aegis. He's going to drop the Cataclysm onto Desave. Flag and drag out, but it will not save his life. Down he goes. But meanwhile, in the top lane, Inhibitor
Yeah.
is going to fall. Parang and Skuro here for the defense. Parang going to go gold with the Flame Spitter going, and the Lantern will keep him safe. Desave, though, walking into this fight with a third of his health, has to be careful, but Wiz wants to keep the Red Canids on the map here. There's a possibility for a play from Kabum, but Wiz needs to keep him in the area. Skuro maybe hunting for a death sentence, isn't going to find it here. And Red Canids will be able to back away. They got the inhibitor. So despite the sacrifice of Aegis, I would say worth for the side of Red Canids.
Could be Warmogs here for Aegis now. We haven't seen a J4 get this late into a game. I don't think we've seen a game this long yet. I think this might be the longest one yet. We're at, 6 dragons now? So, yeah, 35 minutes. And, yeah, both sides at bigger builds than they have had all series long. Almost full build here for House if he chooses to go for the Magi Soul Stealer. He's at like 5.5 items, so pretty close. Meanwhile, it's just another half item for Teton till full build, and full item for Parang. So across the board, back and forth, lots of items. Might be the Warmogs here for Wiz coming through here too in just a bit. But Zhonya's actives are available for House. They are not available for Parang or for Aegis for the time being, just yet. Meanwhile, Grevthar also gets his item upgraded by the Ornn there too, so a little bit stronger on the Vex there for Grevthar. So good stuff for them. Still got that soul. They got the Mountain Soul, got all those shields ready. Pretty tanky team. I don't know. I feel like I might give this one to Red. It's still very winnable for Kabum, I would think, but yeah, I mean, you look at Guigo with 5,000 health, and you're like, man, I don't see how they could lose this.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Guigo just whiff on another ultimate, or fat finger his flash again and give Boom an opportunity. We'll have to see. But Guigo, yeah, very, very beefy Ornn at this stage of the game. And this is certainly the longest game we've had so far. And I would imagine it likely will not end prior to the 40-minute mark. So we're really getting nice and deep into this late game. And, I have to give, hats off to House. We were talking about his tactical inting in game one on the Ahri, and despite the struggles his team has had in this game, the ups and downs, his scoreline very good, farming very well, 5-1-8 scoreline, and has been playing very cleanly in this game so far. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Parang and Wiz trying to get onto Guigo, but Red Canids are all here to respawn, and House TP's in. And Kabum have to back away. They are lucky to get out of that alive, as Red Canids now turning back towards the mid lane here. Going to look to get these waves pushed, as we're just 80 seconds away from Elder Dragon spawning.
That's a lot of summoners blown there from Kabum. Guigo, 100%. Just top-notch discipline. Doesn't blow any summoners, just the ultimate, right? And it's already all the way, like half the way back on cooldown, right? So really good discipline from him there. Knew he wasn't in any kind of danger. He's got the tank stats to prove it. He came correct. Good stuff. Rocket's out.
Ooh,
That's
Rocket just a
close one.
little too early, as Baron going to get picked up there. Equalizer down, will get some damage, but not much more, as Red Canids will get out with that Baron buff. And now that's going to make it really easy. 35 seconds until this Elder Dragon is up, and it's going to be trivial for Red Canids to get these waves pushed and to challenge for that objective. And this might be the last opportunity here for Kabum. If they cannot win a fight here at Elder Dragon, or possibly getting another miracle steal out of Wiz, this could be the game and the lead in this series for the side of Red Canids. Kabum starting to posture here around the mid lane. House and Skrull waiting in this brush nearby Desave, hoping for a pick in this bot side river, but they are not going to find it. Red Canids going to get that mid lane wave pushed and immediately try to gain control of the bot side river. Meanwhile, Supers on the
Yep.
towers in
Meanwhile,
the
super
base.
minions.
Perfectly timed pan. That's going to be one Nexus tower falling as Aegis jumps onto the backline to Save. Going to go gold here, and Lantern away from trouble for now. But down goes the Rumble and the Renata ult onto everybody. Teton will fall. Can they turn it around? What a moonlight vigil. Good night. Kaboom! Wiz still alive, but it does not matter. Red Canids turn it around. It's a triple kill for Teton. They're into the base, and just like that, it looked like Kaboom were going to bring another comeback here in game 3, but Red Canids stand tall, and they will take a 2-1 lead in this series.
Was not expecting a second game to come through for Red there at ESO. I 100% not.